You're watching Wisconsin Eye, an independent, nonprofit public affairs network, engaging the citizens of Wisconsin since 2007 through access to government proceedings and public policy events. To support programs like this, please consider a tax-deductible donation at wisi.org/donate or by texting WISI to 44321.
Community could ensure the health of our pollinators. Scientists and Lawrence University professor Israel Del Toro and Relena Ribbons were studying native bee diversity and ways to increase pollinator populations in native green spaces. And when I became acquainted with their efforts, I was hooked. Soon the whole city was involved in ensuring that we did our part in increasing pollinator health. Pollinator enthusiasts on Appleton's Common Council, which we have one here with us today, Denise Fenton, students at Lawrence University in Appleton, and a group of enthusiasts formed Pollinablers. This group has been instrumental in advancing pollinator health in the Fox Valley, and many people in the state are following suit. The state's first No Mow May, in fact, was born out of Appleton. But beyond Appleton, we know that Wisconsin pollinators have been in jeopardy for more than a decade. A combination of habitat decline, pesticide use, disease, and climate change have formed a perfect storm, resulting in a steady decline in pollinator health. While steps have been taken at the Wisconsin DNR and DATCAP and other state agencies to advance pollinator-friendly practices, Wisconsin is one of 19 states whose legislature have not passed laws to increase pollinator health. Surprising, and especially surprising considering that data shows that without pollinators, Wisconsin would lose 3/4 of their crops, of their cranberry crops rather, apple growers would lose 80%, and cherry producers 60%. Today, we are introducing 6 bills and 1 resolution that directly address habitat and pesticide use, 2 of the most common causes of population decline. LRB 2938 requires truth in labeling for pollinator-friendly plants and seeds. LRB 2937 provides a carve-out in existing state statutes to allow local municipalities to prohibit or control the use of pesticides harmful to pollinators. LRB 2942 codifies existing DNR practice of banning the use of neonicotinoids on DNR-maintained state lands. LRB 3135 requires that state agencies give preference to native prairie and forage plants in situations where state agencies or entities are directing the planting. And LRB 3240 proposes the creation of a new specialty plate to benefit pollinators, and our next speaker is going to highlight the rural impact of our Pollinator Protection Package. With that, I'd like to welcome Representative Dave Considine.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to support this pollinator package. As a farmer and orchardist, I ran a 20 acres of apple orchard that I marketed on the farm for 25 years and imported bees to make sure that the pollination happened. And most orchardists still do that because we don't have enough native pollinators to pollinate our orchards. But certainly it would be hard to augment and implement that without having a lot of native pollinators. We would not have enough bees around to do it. So I want to emphasize how important this is. It's estimated that we would lose the honeybee pollination itself, just honeybees, results in $18 billion worth of agricultural produce in our nation. That's a chunk of change. And that's just the honeybee pollinators. So this is a really important thing to do. I also have 7 acres of land that I was fortunate enough to get a USDA grant from the Department of Agriculture to plant 7 acres into pollination habitat. And so this spring, 3 weeks ago, the field was solid yellow. Now it's solid white. And it will change almost 18 times during the season as the different pollination things for bees come on. So federally, we've recognized that. As a state, we have not. And it's time for us to do that. To encourage our farmers when they're planting riparian buffers to be planting native prairie and bee pollination things in those areas. And we have plenty of those areas that we're already encouraging. This is just the next step. Agriculturalists want to support bees. They know how important they are, but they also need to use pesticides, right? And part of this package gives them some specificity on where they can use it and how they can use it and when they can use it and how to encourage them. And what we've discovered in my 9 years on the Agriculture Committee in this Capitol is that farmers want to do the right thing, and with the encouragement and the limits set, they will do the right thing. This package helps them do that, and so I'm really proud to endorse this package of bills.
You may have heard of the term Rusty Patched Bumble Bee. It recently made news when it was added to the endangered species list, and I would like to introduce my colleague, Representative Andraka, to talk a little bit about that bill.
Thank you, Representative Snodgrass. I'm State Representative Deb Andraka. Very happy to be here to talk about the Rusty Patched Bumble Bee. This is an issue that it shouldn't be a Republican issue or a Democratic issue. We should all come together as politicians when we're talking about pollinators. The Rusty Patched Bumblebee belongs in the Wisconsin Blue Book, and that's what my bill would do. Add the Rusty Patched Bumblebee as the official Wisconsin native insect. Wisconsin's cranberries, ginseng, wildflowers all depend on this hardy insect. And the Rusty Patched Bumblebee was once found throughout North America, but is now found only in small patches, and some of them, and the most important habitats, are right here in Wisconsin. In fact, the bee made the news last year when one of them was found at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Now, bumblebees do not make honey, but they are essential in pollinating many of Wisconsin's most important crops. It is a federally endangered and Wisconsin special concern species. Prior to its 2017 designation as endangered, the species experienced a rapid decline, possibly due to a pathogen and excessive pesticide exposure. Now, we don't want to take away any of Wisconsin's beloved official items in the book. I just want to point out we have lots of different official state designated items, and there's plenty of room within the categories. Just a few examples. We have an official state rock, red granite, fossil, trilobite, mineral, galena lead sulfate, I'm not a geologist, and soil, Antigo silt loam. If we can have 4 different kinds of rocks, soils, and minerals, surely there's more room in some of the other categories. We have a grain, corn. The fruit is the cranberry. The herb is the ginseng. The dairy product is cheese, but the official beverage is milk. And as we go on, we have official state animal, we all know, the badger. Domestic animal is the dairy cow. The wildlife animal is the white-tailed deer, but the insect, official state insect, is the honeybee. We are not displacing the honeybee. We are simply adding another category as the state native insect for the Rusty Patched Bumblebee. Tragically, this bumblebee is close to extinction. And as we fight to save this little pollinator who lives among us, as he fights for survival, we can help bring attention to this insect by designating it as the official state native insect. And with enough care and attention from us, hopefully it can find its way into a better future as well. So thank you very much. And who is coming next?
I will toss it off. There you go.
Thank you, Representative Snodgrass.
Thank you. We do not want to go against big honey. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm now excited to introduce one of our stakeholders, Doug Coulterman from the Wisconsin Honey Producers, to say a few remarks.
Good morning, everyone. I am Doug Coulterman, a proud local beekeeper and small business owner from Mugwanago, Wisconsin. I am here today as a representative of the Wisconsin Honey Producers Association, which currently has well over 500 registered members. The WHPA is excited to hear that legislation is being introduced that will have a positive and profound impact on Wisconsin honeybees in our state, one that will carry over into countless areas of Wisconsin's agriculture. Pollinators are a vital part of our global ecosystem. Honeybees in particular are responsible for pollinating approximately 1/3 of the world's food supply. Here in Wisconsin, honeybees, local beekeepers, and the statewide honey industry are large contributors to the success and health of Wisconsin agribusiness. Wisconsin cranberry growers, hundreds of apple and cherry orchards, and many vegetable farmers are just a few of the beneficiaries in every county of the state that rely on and contract with beekeepers for honeybee pollination services. More directly, the USDA has reported that Wisconsin ranks 11th nationally in honey production, with 2022 honey production valued at $8.86 million. For these reasons, the Wisconsin Honey Producers Association welcomes this proposed pollinator protection legislation for the lasting positive impact it will have on Wisconsin ecosystems and our nationally recognized agricultural industry, now and well into the future. Thank you.
That is it for the bees and the butterflies and the beetles and the bats and the hummingbirds today. I don't believe we have any press here, but if anybody has any questions, we'd be happy to ask. Excellent. Hope you got that one. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Oh my gosh, it was so great to join you.
This program is a production of Wisconsin Eye, an independent, nonpartisan, nonprofit media network with a mission to inform, educate, and engage the citizens of Wisconsin. Wisconsin Eye is the nation's first and only independently funded state civics broadcast network, providing gavel-to-gavel access to government proceedings and events at the state capitol.